Hello, I'm Dave Hunt from BHLM Services, and this is the basic setup of the LASAM 3.0 system without a scoreboard. So I've got the tripod set up, and I'm going to get it close to level by adjusting the legs. I want to make sure that the feet are firmly planted. So if I'm outside, I can step them down so they're firmly in the ground. If you're inside, you want to make sure that if you're on a surface that you can't really step in real hard, you're either on a mat or something where the legs aren't going to slide around. So it's relatively level. Now I'm going to put the level on it and adjust it. For all three legs. Okay, so I've got my level there. Now I'm going to put the tri-brack on. So put it on. And with the tripod, you want to think about how you're going to be shooting the sector and try to have it set up in a way where you're not having to walk around these legs too much, so that once you have your level set, you don't want to be bumping it too much where you're going to knock that out of level. Having things level is critical to make sure that you have good measurements. So I'm going to screw this on. So it's nice and firm. I don't need to tighten it so tight that I'm going to break things, but just nice and firm. Now there's a bubble level on the tri-brack. I'm going to use the 3 adjustment points here to get that as level. And this is, again, critical that we have this as level as possible so that that bubble is lined up right in the center. And this, you can see, I usually like to keep the tri-brack starting at a stable starting point, so that usually it's either all the way down or all the way up, and then it's a lot easier to adjust. This is kind of all mixed up, so it's a little bit harder to get dialed in here. But if I put it all the way down, and if you get to a point where these adjusting feet stop, you don't want to force it. You want, if that's the point where you have to adjust your tripod legs then to make sure that you're getting things dialed in. Okay, so there I've got my tri-brack level. Now I'm going to take the LASAM unit. Now on the bottom of the unit, there's 3 mounting feet that will drop into the 3 holes on the tri-brack. And make sure they drop all the way down. And then there's a lock on the side of the tri-brack. I'm going to turn that until it locks in. So now I've got a firm connection between the tri-brack to the LASAM. The feet are firmly planted in the ground. There's a power button on top of the unit. I'm going to turn that on. And it will take 90 seconds or so. You'll see the screen flash to boot everything up. While that's happening, I can start leveling the laser unit using the level on top. Get that close. I can also, if I want to use the sighting scope, make sure that this gets put on the mounting rail. I want to make sure that it drops all the way down and then screw it in firmly in place. Okay, so now I'm at my home screen. I'll zoom this in a bit. So in this case, for our purposes, I'm going to select shot put as my event. I'm going to select metric as my measuring system. From here, I can click continue. And so then my first step is going to be just reading the instructions, right? So level laser, press OK when level. So I've got my laser level according to my bubble there. I'm going to click OK. Now it says aim at circle center, press OK when done. So I can see my laser dot on the wall ahead. I've got my circle center set up on the table over here. You can see my white stationary point. So rotate through. And I'm using the vertical adjustment knob to get that set right on the center of my marking point. And now I can click OK. And so now it says aim at target. So now it's ready to measure. So if I hit measure again, I should have negative 1.06. So that's my circle radius for shot put. So I know that I set that up correctly. Now I want to have a known point elsewhere to shoot. So if I click remeasure, then that takes everything back to the starting point again. I see my laser is back up. And now I can shoot my starting point, or my known point, which if I've got a corner on the wall over here I'm going to shoot. And then I know that point shouldn't move throughout the meet. That's 1.98. So then I've got a point where I can continue to go back and check between flights to make sure that everything is still in check. So now if we go through some close-up operation of the system, again, we've got the power button on top. I can see right now I'm still at my screen 1.98 from my last mark. You can see the options here. In this cord, you don't want to pull it in or out, but you can kind of bend it out of the way so that it works best for you with the knobs and the screen. As we're looking at this, this is the horizontal adjustment knob. So you can see by turning this, that helps fine tune the horizontal position. This is the vertical. So by turning this, this moves your laser position up and down. On the screen, I can click accept if I'm ready to send this distance to the scoreboard. I can click foul if I want to send foul to the scoreboard. If I just want to end the event and go home to start to a different event, I can do that. But in this case, we're going to remeasure, which then brings up the laser dot again, so I can see my laser dot on the board. My instruction is to aim at target, and when I click measure, so then I see my distance, 1.31 meters. So now if I'm ready to start over, to see the setup sequence again, I'm going to go home. And in this case, let's choose discus. And I can choose imperial, so measuring in feet and inches. I'll click continue. And so now I need to level the laser and press OK. So right now you can see the level of the laser. I'm adjusting my vertical knob. So there I'm level. I'll press OK. And now my laser dot is up. I can see it's illuminated. And my instruction is to aim at circle center, press OK when done. So here I'm using the vertical to get down close. And then I can move over towards my stationary point, keep adjusting. So there my laser dot is in the center. I'm going to press OK. And now my circle radius should be, a discus circle is 8 foot 2 inches. So when I measure that again, my radius is negative 4 feet 1 inch. So I know I've got the right radius here. If I'm ready to remeasure, if I go up to my known point, so in this case it's going to be different, all right, because we're on a different event with a different circle radius. But if I shoot this point where I usually know what it is and click measure, so 5 feet 10 inches from the circle in this case.